Hello, and I'd like to welcome you all once again to the old schoolhouse here in the village hamlet of Butterstone in Perthshire in Scotland for this our 49th We Life concert broadcast. And I can't believe we've done 49. Anyway, it's been a lovely day here in Butterstone, and you'll notice tonight that we actually have another instrument on the stage. You know, young teenager Tatty Face has been pestering me all week with his wee guitar, you know, so that she to come up and play here. So I've allowed her to come up tonight, and goodness knows how she's going to manage with Junior hanging over the top of the guitar like that. But if you're a guitar player, if you've ever had children, it's one of the things I remember. Trying to play the guitar with a child on your knee is one of the most frustrating things. Anyway, so I'm going to do just a wee kind of selection of songs which have been kind of requested, and so we'll start off with this one. And this song I actually wrote in Australia, and it was after a wee visit I had, and I ended up in northern New South Wales in a wee town called MacLean. It was quite cool actually. There was a MacLean pub and a MacLean hardware store, and anyway, I got a wee book and I was reading up on the Scottish settlers who arrived there originally, and it's right in the middle of sugarcane country. I mean, there's sugarcane everywhere, and but when the folk arrived, it was just bush, and the folk had to kind of just cut down this virgin bush and try and turn it into fields, and it's on the banks of a big river called the Clarence River, and it's huge. And when it floods, well, we live beside the River Tay, and when it floods, if it floods a couple of metres, we're all panicking. But this thing flooded like 20 metres or something. It's something incredible. It was just when it flooded, and so the poor folk that had immigrated there, apart from the fact that the place was full of kind of dangerous things, and they could only grow sugarcane, they had to deal with this huge river, which at any moment in time could suddenly just sort of go up 20 metres. And so I was trying to imagine these poor folk, and I wrote this song about them. And in the book that I was reading about them, it actually mentioned one particular immigration boat called the George Fife. And it described the George Fife's the journey from over to from Scotland over as the journey of tears, which I thought was really quite. So we're going to try this one now we'll get started and waking up the vocal cords. And I've always got a real problem because I always write these really fiddly little intros to these tunes, and then if you don't play them for a while, it feels like your guitar strings are barbed wire. But we'll try it and see how we go. So here we go. Oh, we couldn't be farther from home. Oh no, what's left of a journey of tears. Oh, we cry like the Carlu. Oh, Christ save our souls and uphold our fears. And it couldn't be darker than this. Oh no, even with so much light in the sky. Well, the sun burns forever, we can't find the shade, though we try and we try. So big river, don't fool me, I'm depending upon a sign. I'm relying upon your motion to carry these cares of mine. And beg a river, we're helpless, and we bend to your every turn, and not even our courage can help us. As the big river runs on and on, as the big river runs on and on and on. To clear this bush will take a whole life, I'm sure, and even the lives of my sons. But we dream of a harvest, and oh how we'll feast when it finally comes. And when sugar cane glows with the wind, oh, we'll think on that journey of tears, and the murdering hold of the hellish George Fife will fade with the years. So beg a river, don't fool me, I'm depending upon a sign, I'm relying upon your motion to carry these cares of mine. Big river, we're helpless, and we bend to your every turn, and not even our courage can help us. As the big river runs on and on, as the big river runs on and on and on. Big river, don't fool me, I'm depending upon a sign, I'm relying upon your motion to carry these cares of mine. And big river, we're helpless, and we bend to your every turn, and not even our courage can help us. As the big river runs on and on, as the big river runs on and on, as the big river runs on and on and on. Thank you very much, and that's my song, Big River, written up in northern New South Wales, and I was having a wee problem with my pinky there. It just just wasn't finding it just wasn't located. You try and simplify these little riffs, but it never works because the song never sounds right with it when I kind of simplified riff. Anyway, I'm going to go and do this next wee song, which I've had a lot of requests for this wee song, and I change guitars, and I've had a lot of requests for this song, and what we do is we put the requests that we've had during the week into Duncan's Tatty Face's hat, and we pull them out, and this is what this one kind of showed up. So we'll have a wee go at it. And I grew up in a kind of real feudal place. My father was the gardener for a very wealthy landowner, and people who think that, it's like something out of Charles Dickens, actually, when I was growing up, with that whole kind of feudal thing. And in this area, when I was growing up, it was all big landowners, and then most of the people that would live in these little houses, the houses around Butterstone, that would have actually been working for the landowners, for the wealthy landowners. And it's kind of funny, actually, because I noticed that, after the Second World War, a lot of the kind of landed gentry, well, they were officers in the war, but when they came back home again after the war, they kept their titles, so that you had the kind of major blogs and colonel blogs and commander blogs and brigadier blogs. And it was basically because they had that kind of rank in the army, and they could keep that when they came back to working on the land, they could still have that kind of fear over the men that worked for them. And it was kind of weird. I found it kind of weird when I was young, actually having to call people Brigadier Blogs, you know, and stuff like that. Anyway, I wrote this song for my mum and dad, and and for all the kind of rural folk that kind of worked in that kind of situation. One of the things we had to do, which I always thought was very demeaning, and you couldn't really not do it, was we had to go out and it was called beating. We either beated for pheasants or beated for grouse. And what happened was all the people that worked on the estates and on the farms, on the tenant farms, we had to go out and line up in these woods and then walk through the woods and frighten up the pheasants or walk across the moors and frighten up the grouse so that the toffs could have a wee day shooting and I remember one particular incident when not far from the village here, where we were all lined up on the hill, and this capercaillie got up. Now, a capercaillie is an amazing bird. It's like a big turkey, and it's like it's a version. It's related to the grouse. And this big capercaillie, and we all looked at each other down the line, and we're going, oh no, they're going to shoot the capercaillie. And the capercaillie is a very ungainly thing. It's like a turkey, you know. It doesn't really fly very well. And it got up and it flew down over where all the guns were all lined up, and they were all taking pot shots at it, and he was ducking and diving and doing a wee bit of a dive here, and then he flew right over the whole guns and landed away on the field down by the other side, and there was this great cheer came up from all the people that were in the line that were beating, you know, kind of like cheering him on, you know. The interesting thing was that now a lot of the kids of the workers have all come back and bought houses in the area, and everything's changed. And this song is about the fact that all that stuff doesn't really, doesn't hold much with us anymore. You know. They worked through wind and rain to keep the roof above our heads, humbled time and time again. What could they do? They crawled across your floors to keep and clean your houses, broken wounds and open sores. What could they do? A little respect would have helped them through. We are our father's dreams. We are our mother's pride and joy. And we will be the ones to tell you now that it's over. You have no hold on us like the fear you laid on them. We are the seeds they grew. It's we that you must answer to. Occasion in the village hall, she speaks with rank and roses, so high above them all. What could they do? He struts with dog and gun. They scramble through a heather hell, beat the ground until they run. What could they do? A little respect would have helped them through. But we are our father's dreams. We are our mother's pride and joy. And we will be the ones to tell you now that it's over. You have no hold on us like the fear you laid on them. We are the seeds they grew. It's we that you must answer to. Play it, Mr. Tye, please. can sing this wee bit actually if you want. Try it. We are the seeds they grew. 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 Try it. We are the seeds they grew. 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 We are our Father's dreams. We are the seeds they grew. We are our Father's dreams. We are the seeds they grew. We are our Father's dreams. We are our mother's pride and joy. And we will be the ones tell you now that it's over. You have no hold on us like the fear you laid on them. We are the seeds they grew. It's a we that you must answer to. Thank you very much. And that's my wee song, Rankin' Roses. And I've got a wee tickle in my throat. Excuse me, I'm going to have to... I don't normally have a mouthful of this until the end, but... It's had a wee funny tickle in my throat, which happens if you're not singing a lot. And these, at the moment, I'm not singing as much as I would normally be singing, so we're going to do this now, which is this is the part of the show where I do a wee chorus, and we've done this a couple of times before over the last 2 or 3 months, but this was in my request hat again, so we'll do it. And this is a wee song which I wrote about. Learning about the sea up in the island of Lewis, where I spent a lot of time. And I wrote it for a couple of, well, for a friend, but for a lot of the guys that taught me about the sea up there. And the chorus is easy. You sing, on the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. Okay? On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. And, so I mentioned in the song, it's the first line is when first he rounded Pabby Moor, and Pabby Moor is a big island just off from where I have the house, and there's also a Pabby Beck, which is the Pabby Moor just means big Pabby, and Pabby Beck is little Pabby. And when you go, and little Pabby is further out actually. But when you go around this big island, you know, you're suddenly out of the sea loch and then into the Atlantic, and the sea is just incredible out there. You know, I had no idea that the sea was just such a wild and a wonderful thing until I went round. Till friends of mine took me past Pabby Moor, and so here we go. I'll maybe just tell you this wee story too, because I like telling wee stories. And I might have told it before, but it's brilliant because the whole sea thing up on the west coast of Lewis is amazing. I've been going up there for the last probably 25, 30 years. And when I was up one time, a number of years ago, a friend of mine, Willie Morrison, took me out in his father's old wooden boat. And we were out in the sea loch, and he was saying, well, he was rowing, and I was at the front of the boat, and he was saying, just about now you'll see a big reef come up under the water, and sure enough, I just looked over the boat, and this great reef came out up. And he said, and I says, how did you manage to do that? How did you find the exact spot? He says, well, the old man, he says, well, you lined up these 3 islands. You could see 3 wee islands. If you lined the 3 islands up, and then there was a crack in a rock on another island, and then there was a wee burn coming down the hillside. Once you had all these things lined up, you were exactly above the reef, and that's where all the fish were. And I love that kind of oneness with the sea that island people have. So we'll try the chorus. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. She says she's nervous. She's doing a good job, I think. She's doing a good job, I think. Maybe you can send in a wee comment for her. Maybe do the chorus a couple of times first. I hope my tickle goes away. If it's not, I've got a couple of vocal zones here that I can. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. So what you sing, okay? Right, here we go. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. Here we go. When first he rounded Pabimore and met the mountain waves alone, there was fear till there was fear no more. Wild Atlantic sun, and he learned her gentle, he learned her strong, till he could feel her every heaving breath. Atlantic sun, here we go with the chorus. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry. Tide rolls dark round Gallen Head, and the wind has nowhere left to turn, and the broken rock the sea will bleed. Wild Atlantic sun, she sleeps and there she roars, and in a moment surging foul becomes. It's a force to steal the sailor's life. Wide Atlantic sun, make a bit of noise now. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. This is where you sing it on your own. Are you ready? On the shoulders of and again with some harmonies gone. On the shoulders Beautiful, beautiful. Now I forgot to teach you the little whistle part which I normally do in this song. So we can do it now, yeah? Do the whistle bit now. It goes like this. Da da dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da da that bit as well. Da da dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da. When first he left the West Loch Road in gentle calm to sunset fell, with wondered eyes he dreamed so still, while Atlantic sun, here we go with the chorus, on the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. Make a better noise on this last chorus one. On the shoulders of on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me, someone to carry me, someone to carry me. Someone to carry me, someone to carry me. Whistle part. Da da dee da 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 dee da. Well done, well done. Thank you very much. I could hear the choruses happening here in the old schoolhouse. I'm getting the vibe, aren't we? We're getting the vibe. It helps us, you see, because it means that we don't feel that we're too much on our own here. I mean, for those of you who have just joined, this is the old school that I went to, and my dad went to school in the 1930s in here. And there's just me and Jenny here because we've got a kind of automated system that we frantically try and get together every Saturday night. And Jen's up the back pressing the odd button here and there. And it can be quite stressful at times, just the way it kind of works. But it's wonderful to be able to kind of do these broadcasts from my old school and my dad's old school. So that brings us, we're going to do one more wee song. I'm just going to pop this wee guitar down here. That's my... Now, I bet a lot of you know what happened there. My little glass of port, which I normally have to give you a toast, I just bumped it and then knocked it off. Anyway, that's all right. We're going to do this wee We're going to do this. I only had one wee mouthful out of it as well. Yeah. But so we'll get this wee song going, and then maybe Jenny can run through to my kitchen and get me another wee glass of port. Anyway, this is one of my favourite Burns songs, and we had quite a few requests for this, so we'll have a wee go at it. And this is another one of them songs that I've made with a really kind of complicated guitar part. It's a really nice wee guitar part. Maybe take me a few seconds just to get my... So it's a song called A Fond Kiss, and Robbie Burns was a brilliant songwriter, and lived in the kind of the mid 1700s, and it's quite amazing that he was able to write these beautiful things way back then, and that they're still kind of as current and as relative and enjoyed by people as much as they still are. My hand's all sticky now with the port. Well, we'll see how we go on. A fond kiss, and then we sever. A farewell, and then forever. Deep in head-wrung tears, I'll pledge thee. Warring sighs and groans, I'll what shall say that fortune grieves him, while the star of hope she leaves him? Me nature twinkle lights me, dark despair around I'll ne'er blame my partial fancy. Nothing could resist my Nancy, but to see her was to love her. Love but her, and love Had we never loved so kindly, had we never loved so blindly, never met and never parted, we would ne'er be broken. So fare thee well, thou first and fairest. Fare thee well, thou best and dearest. thine be ilka joy and treasure, peace, enjoyment, love and pleasure. Oh, a fond kiss and then we sever, a farewell and then forever. Deep in head-wrung tears I'll pledge thee, warring sighs and groans I'll wage thee. Thank you very much, and that's Burns' beautiful song, A Fond Kiss, and it really is an absolutely beautiful song, and it's very hard to capture all of that. In one of the things about songwriting is you've got to capture a great big kind of thing with a very small amount of words, and Burns was absolutely brilliant at that. So that brings us to the end of our wee Saturday night live concert again, wee live concert, and I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I was just thinking about that glass of port there. You know, it's pretty amazing that actually after 49 shows here that I haven't done that before. So that's the first time I've done that, and that's Nigel's wonderful 1985 port that he supplies me with for my show, for one week. So Jenny went and got me some more. I think we might have lost one of the nice glasses, but that's all right. Anyway, so thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed that wee half hour. It's a wee kind of respite from the craziness that's going on all over the world at the moment. And this is a wee part of the show where I always like to just thank all the NHS people, the carers, the people that are out on the streets, doing all the kind of work, keeping the wheels of our societies going. Everybody's kind of working away at it in the best way they can at the moment, and just to try and keep everything moving. So thanks to you all, and these wee shows have been great for me to keep in touch with everybody and to be able to say thank you. And I've been doing a wee every so often now. I'm doing a wee ticketed show, which is a kind of an hour long, and I'm doing wee bits and video and things and that in it, and making it a wee bit more special for a Saturday night, because none of us musicians have any work anymore. It's completely evaporated, you know. So we'll just try to see how we get on. But so next Saturday is the ticketed one, and maybe I'll do one every month, you know, and then the other 3 that I'll do will be live. And so you can get your tickets if you go to www.dougiemacleanlive.com. You can buy a wee ticket there, and that would be nice. And it helps to keep all the kind of wheels of this sort of thing going. And this time we've got a wee chat thing happening on there's a chat facility on the thing, so maybe we'll get a wee bit of a chat going during the hour of the show. But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. All stay cheery, look after yourselves. One of the most important things in this kind of crazy time at the moment is to kind of look after each other and keep each other kind of buoyed up, and stay cheery, and we'll all get through this eventually. So night, you all take care, and Eicheva, and until next Saturday. Bye-bye now.